massive update in the legal cases between Manchester City and the Premier League. Reportedly, Manchester City have scored a huge victory over the Premier League in one of the cases. That is one of the biggest cases there. A case that was opened about like 2-3 months ago. We're going to talk about it. Manchester City securing a victory over the Premier League. I don't know where is this going, but we'll talk about it. So make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we're going to talk about it. Times have reported it. Football 365, goal.com, every single media outlet have reported that Manchester City have secured a huge victory in the APT case. Of course, the case that is related to the associated party transaction. And Manchester City, it looks like they have won that case because of a delay in vote on something like this. We'll talk about it. I will show you the articles from the Times as well. That is one of the big, it's a massive deal, because if you read the articles, and if Man City actually won this case, and I'm going to let you, I want to know your opinion in the comment as well. If this is declared illegal, that no one can oversee, or the Premier League cannot oversee and cannot assess the transaction between associated party, I will absolutely let you read with me the Times. That means clubs can inflate the revenue. That means clubs can do transactions and can just decide what they want. It's a big deal. And I think it benefits Newcastle. It benefits Manchester City. And it's just a huge victory for Manchester City. This is a bigger deal than what we think. And I'm going to give you my opinion about how I see this, how I see this victory. This is part of the whole legal dispute and the charges and everything, that the war that is going between Manchester City and the Premier League. There is a big war between the Manchester City and the Premier League, of course, on the 115, 130 charges. But this is the first of many. And if Manchester City secure a victory here, as it is reported by 365, Manchester City appear to score a victory in a historic legal case, as journalists reveal a huge development, of course, over this. As the Times also reported, vote delay suggests that Manchester City victory over the Premier League. And let's just go through the article. It's a withdrawal from a wide vote indicates City have had at least partial success to change the rules of the APT. As it's reported here, that Manchester City appear to have secured a potential significant victory in the legal battle for the associated party transaction. As the Time revealed in January, City launched a legal action to say that the Premier League has moved illegally to stop Manchester City. So basically, Manchester City accused the Premier League of moving illegally to stop them from securing a sponsorship deal from an associated party because of the inflated price, or because it's not a market value. Of course, there is a lot. It's introduced in December 2021 because of the Newcastle takeover by the Saudis, as it's reported introduced in December 2021. And it's basically, the Times understands that 20 Premier League clubs were due to vote on an amendment to rule specific to the database of the shareholders meeting in central London, but the clubs will be asked to vote to restrict the access to the data bank. So basically, what this say, from my understanding, is that the vote was delayed and it was removed, actually, from the agenda of last night. That just shows that the vote was removed. That suggests that the Premier League has lost against Manchester City, and now no one is allowed to look at this data bank to assess the deals of the Premier League with associated parties. And of course, if you look at the other article from 365, it says really here that the Daily Mail, Mike Keegan, the Premier League have challenged the league's ABT rules, right? The Premier League champions, Manchester City, have challenged them, apologies. And basically, this rule is designed to ensure that any commercial deal or any player transfer between a club and an entity that is linked, example, the Savio deal, example, any move between Chelsea and one of the clubs they own, the the owners own a club, or 𝐒𝐬𝐞, and another, as we've seen for Tadibo as well. So basically, now what it says here is that if the arbitration matter declares APT rules invalid, and read this part, right? The clubs would effectively be free to do any commercial deals they wished without any independent judgment being made on whether those deals are fair market value or not. This could then turn into the club boost their value. Let me just give you an example. If the Saudis tomorrow say, we want to sponsor Newcastle for 200 million, a sponsorship deal for 200 million. If Newcastle tomorrow want to buy a player that is worth 100 million, and they want the 100 million, basically they can get the Saudis, because it's a state-owned club, to absolutely inflate the value of the sponsorship without any overseas. That is what the article is saying. I want to hear what you guys think. That is basically what the article is saying. If Man City tomorrow want to, they have deficit in salaries, they have deficit, in like the revenue, they can literally go to the Emirates, any entity that is related to them, and tell them to inflate the value. Is this right? Is this wrong? You tell me. Other clubs are billionaires. Man United can get 𝐒𝐬𝐞. Is this fair? Is this unfair? I think it's unfair. That is just my opinion. Because no one, even Manchester City, by the way, are not as rich as the Saudis. They aren't as rich as the Saudis. Yes, I want Newcastle to be able to spend to build their club. Yes, I said many times that Man City should be allowed to spend to build their club, because they are success. At the current moment, we look at Manchester City and they are successful. Manchester City at the current moment are a very successful club, right? So we want people to be able to spend, to be able to build their club, to win a treble, to win leagues. But also, as someone, I don't support the Premier League club, but also that will inflate the market massively. Because I have to give you an example about this. If Newcastle tomorrow want to sign a player, that player's value is 50 million, and they go and they want to offer 100 million, but they don't have that money, they can just secure a sponsorship deal from Saudi Arabia. Any big company in Saudi Arabia that is related to the owners, of course, because it's a state-owned club, they can definitely get the sponsorship, and then they can bid 100 million. Teams like Arsenal cannot compete. Maybe Liverpool cannot compete with that price, because now Newcastle should dominate. Newcastle should even dominate everything above Manchester City, because no one will be able to compete with them. This is a huge deal. This is a massive thing in the case. This might ruin the transfer market. That is my understanding, which is what the article says, that the clubs will be able to influx revenues without someone saying that it is fair market value or not. This is what the articles say. I want to hear your opinion. If you have a different opinion, let me know, because this is a big deal. Listen, none of us are financial experts. I want to hear an expert in this. I'm going to try to get an expert to see what this is about. This is not Manchester City against the Premier League, because it benefits the likes of Newcastle, Aston Villa as well. It benefits Manchester United as well. This is a very, very big deal. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button if you are here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, because this is a massive, massive thing that happened today. It was just reported. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the chat what you think, and we'll see you guys soon.